Good afternoon and welcome to WTF Dog Training, where the truth really does matter. What we thought we'd show you today is we'll show you the whole recall situation from start to finish, how we actually teach our dogs to do a recall from the beginning to the end. So if your dog is pretty bad at coming back when he's called, there's several reasons why he might not come back when he's called, but this is how we're going to teach your dog a recall. Okay, so it's going to come in 6 parts, I believe 5 or 6 parts, and watch the video as we go along and I'll explain to you exactly what we're doing. So let's get after it, shall we? So here's the first part of the recall. Okay, so in this clip, what you actually see me doing, you'll see me raise my index finger, ask the dog to sit and wait 3 times, take a small step back, okay, and then indicate to him again to wait and take a small step forward back to the dog again, ask him to wait 3 times for 3 seconds, and then I'll praise and give him a treat. Okay, and that's the first part of the recall. Once your dog's learned that, then we can move on to the second part of the recall, but he must have that perfect. Okay, so in the second part that you're going to see now is we're going to ask the dog to sit and wait. Again, we take that small step away from the dog, but this time we're going to walk to the side, 90 degrees round to the side of the dog, ask him to wait with each step. So it's command to wait and then step, wait and then step. Okay, and we're going to go right round the other side of the dog, 90 degrees on the opposite side. Okay, ask him again to wait each time before a step, and then we're going to move back to the beginning where we started from. Then we're going to make that small step towards the dog, ask him to wait again. Okay, and when he's waited that 3 seconds, then we're going to reward him and give him a treat. That 3 seconds is important. Okay, that 3 seconds really important. I'll explain that in a second or two. Okay, so that's the second part of the recall. In this third part of the recall, we ask the dog to wait again. We take a small step back, but this time we take 2 large steps back away from the dog, asking the dog to wait. Now notice I'm always facing the dog. Okay, we're facing the dog, asking him to wait 3 seconds to 5 seconds, and then I go back the same way. 2 big steps, 1 small step. That small step we'll explain again in a second, but that's how we do the recall on the third stage. Okay, moving on. Let's move on to the next week. Okay, this will take 3 weeks so far to teach your dog. You must have it 90% of the time right. This time we're going to take a step away from the dog, small step, and take 3 steps back from the dog. Okay, once we're 3 steps away from the dog, then we're going to open our legs slightly. Okay, and about a foot apart. But once we've got that foot apart, wait 3 to 5 seconds, and then what we're going to do then is we're going to call the dog to us. Okay, the dog comes to us and he sits right in front of us. We wait that 3 seconds again, and then we give him a treat. Okay, that 3 seconds is important because when the dog comes back to you, when you've called him, when he comes back to you, what we're able to do then, we're able to sit, ask him to wait, and he expects that 3 seconds. Okay, he expects to wait for 3 seconds, and then he gets his treat. That enables us, when on the field, we can actually get the lead on the dog. So it's 3 seconds in order to bend down and get the lead on the dog. That's why we do the 3 seconds. Okay, so we're going to move on very shortly now to the next stage where we're actually going to do a bit further recall. So we just extend over and over and over again. But first of all, we must get them correct. 9 times out of 10, the dog must perform the exercises. So see you in the next video. So we've recorded and we've repeated the exercise 9 times out of 10. The dog's really got it. This is my dog Fly, by the way, who's already knows how to do a recall properly. But what we're actually doing is showing you how to do the recall. So in this next step of the recall, once we've completed them first 3 or 4 steps, we need to move on to a further and further distance. Okay, so the dog is exactly the same. We ask the dog to sit and wait, and then what we're going to do is we're going to ask them to wait, and then we're going to take a small step away from the dog again. Once again, then we're going to take 4 or 5 steps back, depending on how your dog really getting on with it. But 4 or 5 steps, 4 or 5 good steps back, but the dog must be in the wait all the time, okay? He sits and he waits. He moves, you go back because you've not got the other one substantially enough. So make sure you get it all the way. Then you call him to you at 3 or 4 steps, okay? He sits in front of you. Again, you wait that 3 seconds before you give him a treat. It's important to wait that 3 seconds because that 3 seconds gives you time to get the lead onto the dog, and that's what we're looking for. When the dog comes back to you on the field or when it's a play, then you get the chance to put the lead on the dog. Okay, so that's the important part, is make sure you get the lead on the dog. In this next part, we're going to show you is the final recall, to come when called, okay, and get into the car. And this is important to make sure your dog can stay in the car. because it's a problem to a lot of people. Dog won't wait in the car. So in this clip, what we're going to show you is how the dog gets in the car and waits in the car. So the dog's moving towards the car and he jumps in the car, okay? And then we ask him to wait. So he waits in the car. We return to the car with the dog in the car in the wait. Then you'll see I'm going to close the boot of the car and then begin a recall, okay? Asking him to wait. So we're going to indicate with the dog with the index finger again, just to wait through the window, ask him to wait, and then what you'll see is once I ask him to wait, I'll open the boot. But as I open the boot, okay, of the car, I ask him to wait again. I take that small step back that we've practiced, wait 3 or 4 seconds, asking him to wait each time, and then indicate to him that he can get out the car, okay? And that's just the same, it's a recall, okay? We recall him from the car onto the field or onto the place where he's going to play. Then I'll indicate him a recall again. I'll ask him to come back. But this time I'll indicate to him to get in the car. Okay? And then we ask him to wait again before we close the boot of the car. Ask him to wait or he doesn't jump out the car. That's a recall. And that's how we teach the dogs to recall. That way you get your dog to sit and wait in the car. We're asking the dog to sit and wait, taking that small step in the beginning. And if you see on the last video, we asked the dog to sit and wait in the car. We took a small step back, allowing us to actually open the boot of the car. Then we asked him to wait again and took a big step back. That could have been 3 or 4 steps back, but as it happened, the van was in the way. So we did 1 step, asked him to wait, made sure it was clear, made sure there was no dogs coming, no people that he could knock over, and then we asked him to get out of the car. So that was a recall. We asked him out of the car. Wait to my legs to get his lead on. We indicated to we wanted him to go in the car. So he jumped in the car, asked him to wait in the car while we closed the boot. Then we asked him to wait again, and we asked him to wait before we close the boot, so therefore he doesn't get out of the car, get the feet trapped or the tail trapped. And that's how we teach recall from the beginning to the end. When you recall a dog in the house, when you recall a dog in the car, whatever, it's a recall. Recall means indicating to your dog, wait for the next command. That's what a recall really means. It means wait for the next command. So you recall your dog to you, ask him to wait 3 seconds to get his lead on. Asking him to wait in the car before he jumps out of the car is a recall. You recall him out of the car. When you recall him to you and get him in the car, you recall him to the car. So it's always a recall. It means the dog comes back to you or where you indicate him to be. Hope you enjoyed the podcast. Like and share. Don't forget, we're a non-profit organisation. So the Happy Dog Training Academy, we don't make any money. Nobody gets paid. We all do it because we volunteer. And all the profits we do make, we teach rescue dogs. Practice, practice, practice. And we'll see you very soon. WTF Dog Training. Speak to you very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye now.